Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, we're painting the patrol. Well, at least this part of it anyway. So first things first, I have to scuff all this up. Give it all a light sand with 600 grit sandpaper. So in the last episode, we had just got all this into our primer. The few spots I had to touch up, I did that behind the scenes. Those have been done now. So this thing is good to go. So I'll sand this, clean this, push it outside, and then I'm going to be cleaning up the shed, turn it into a makeshift spray booth, paint this green. So I finished sanding the patrol for the last time before paint. Now I've got it cleared from the shed. As you can see, there's a lot of dirt, dust and grime all through here. Definitely not ideal when I'm trying to paint. So I'm going to be sweeping all this area up, trying to clean up as much dirt as I can. I'm going to be getting plastic, putting plastic over the walls, probably throw it over the benches, racks there. Trying to minimize as much dust as I can that's going to fall on the car. Now it's never going to compare to a spray booth itself, but this is the next best thing I can do for myself. So I'm also going to be laying plastic on the floor. I've got a royal blue tarp material. So not the prettiest looking thing, but should do the job okay. So still a bunch of things to tidy up in the corners. Got the dash that's been sitting for ages. So all that's going to be cleaned and covered, and hopefully I can minimise the amount of dirt and grime that ends up in the paint of the patrol there. So we have this thing completely prepped, ready for paint. So you can see I've got the wheels masked up. I'll have the back end covered again. So the thing's been sanded. All the dust has been cleaned off just with water and rags and whatnot. And then everything has been cleaned with a wax and grease remover. So we are now ready for paint. So I'm going to mix up some paint, hit it with the tack cloth, and then we're going to throw some paint on this thing. So you can see the car is now painted, at least this section of the body is anyway. So it's been a couple of days, it's been sitting, it's hardened a little bit. So I haven't been using 2-pack products on this. This is all 1K acrylic paints. So a lot of these have to sit for a number of days before we can do anything with them. But let's have a look. Take a look. So as far as my skill level goes, I'm pretty happy with how it turns out. So after giving it a few layers of clear coats, I have noticed a bunch of areas I thought were good that weren't 100% good. Either way, I'm happy with what we ended up with here. So, but for now, I'm going to be cleaning out the inside here, and we'll drag it out there, or we'll hose it down and get all this dust off. Because as you can see, there's a lot of overspray dust just sitting on there, so I want to try hose it off, sponge it off, or something like that. Try clean it down. And believe it or not, this floor is actually meant to be black. It's just covered in a lot of dirt and grime. So we're going to try rectify that. Let's take a closer look at the paint. So it doesn't have much of a shine at the moment. It's acrylic paint, so with acrylics you really have to give them a bit of a sand and a buff to get the shine. We had a couple spots. I had a bit of grime land here, which is left a little mark, and down the back here I had a drop or two of clear coat land right on the paint, and there's a few areas like there where my sanding wasn't perfect and it shows through. But for my first attempt at a paint job, I'm not expecting anything perfect, so it's not too bad. So it's got about 4 layers of clear on it, so there should be plenty of material to sand and buff away. So this area at top where I thought I had it just about sorted, as you can probably see there, you can see an area where I didn't quite fill, and there's still a dent there I thought I had fixed. So no doubt it's better than what it would have been otherwise, but still not perfect. So definitely room for me to improve on any future projects. There's little dents up there. The roof has lots of little dents. I'm not overly concerned. It's a fairly tall vehicle, so the roof, you're not always looking at the roof, so I'm not too concerned about how many dents are up there. And right here, as I was doing base coat, I had a couple drops fall out of the top of the gun, out of the breather hose, as I was trying to spray the roof. So I'll have to be a little bit more cautious in future. Maybe upgrade my guns to one of those paint preparation systems, the PPS, whatever you want to call them. She is just looking so different in the sun. I'm really liking this green. Every shade of light, in the shade and under the fluoros. Every time this is in a different light, it's looking different every time. So I'm really liking this color. The plan is for this thing, on the next few episodes, we're going to be jumping back on interior work. That's where the project was going before we had to jump to the body. Because on the roof lining attaches to all the strips at the top, and I wanted to get all this part of the bodywork done before I start that. So the last thing I want to have to do is paint while the roof lining is in place. So now that it has at least this area painted and the bodywork done, I'm confident to go ahead and start working on the interior again. So that's the plan. We're going to be jumping back on the interior projects in the next few videos. So that's going to be it for this episode. So stick around and we'll see you next time on Sam's Project Bench.